Hello and welcome to the latest episode of The Talking Tradesman. In the studio with me today, I have John the Crown Painter Skelton, all the way from the Isle of Man. So, mate, first of all, massive thank you for the huge effort in travelling overseas to be on the podcast, man. It's hugely appreciated. Thank you. And let's talk.
All right. Firstly, I want to obviously thank you for getting me on the show. Really appreciate that. Coming from such a small island like the Isle of Man, we don't really get this kind of opportunity. So I just want to sort of bounce back on how I sort of started from the beginning of establishing my company and sort of what I went through.
Yeah, 100%, man. We'll start from the beginning, as all good stories do.
So in 2019, I established my company. Funny story about that. So I was I met my partner at the time, and she already had a child, and I ended up having a baby girl with her. Struggled a lot, had a mortgage, struggled to pay the bills. I think at the time I was on £380 a week working with someone, did about 11 years with him.
You always been in the decorating trade?
Always in school, since I was 16. Didn't even get out in the college course at first, I had to wait a year. But so had Harper, and got myself into quite a bit of debt, to be honest with you. It was a struggle, because the wages come in, just went out, started getting credit cards, and I just sort of lived above my means. And I was just trying to live a normal life, because obviously the mother of the child couldn't work at the time, and it got a lot in the end. Started making a lot of trouble in our relationship, the money things. And I remember going to see my dad, because I was really close to my dad. So basically, I remember going into the kitchen, and I just sort of broke down in tears. And I was just said to him, I was just like, "Dad, I can't do this anymore." He's like, "What?" And they said, "I'm in debt." And because he kept on saying to me, "Why haven't you got the money? You should be able to live, blah, blah." So he taught me to, because at the time he was my accountant, so he did a lot for me, to be fair. But this is obviously, he was my accountant when I established the company in 2019. But at this stage, he sort of, he took all my finances in, checked what I could afford and stuff like that. And it turned out that I was in about, at the time, I think it was around 10 grand worth of debt.
Easily done, mate.
I know, but he basically said to me, he's like, "Why didn't you tell me? Why have you left it so long?" I was just embarrassed, really. It's not something you have to really want to
How
scream
old would you have been at that point, John?
22, I think.
Yeah.
22. I think it was 22. Obviously, I'm 34 now, so just got to work out the maths. But he just basically said to me, "Look," he's like, "John, I'll pay this off for you, but you're going to have to, you can't live. You're going to have to do something about it. You're going to have to go on your own." And at the time, I was really loyal to my boss, because I did 11-year stint with him.
This is over on the Isle of Man.
Yeah. And to be fair, he trained me, he's part of the reason I am as good as I am. Obviously, I have progressed. Obviously, when I've done my own company, the spraying and stuff like that, I've done my own stuff to progress, because he didn't really do any of that stuff. But anyway, I just remember at the time, my dad paid it off, and that's when John Skelton Paint Decorating was born. I knew straight away then that I didn't want to be just that decorating a white van.
Mm-hmm.
Where I come from in the Isle of Man, the mentality is so much different in the UK.
So, to be fair, mate, I know very little about the Isle of Man. I very little in terms of size, population, what it's like over there. So maybe fill in a few gaps for me on that respect. So in terms of the Isle of Man, how big is it?
I couldn't even tell you some manxman me on. I couldn't even tell you how big it was, but I think it's about 8,000 population.
Okay,
around there.
So the population of the island essentially is like the population of a big town.
Don't quote me on that, by the way.
Somewhere near 80,000. There might have been a couple of births while he's been over here dropping it over.
Much. Hey, it definitely will be births over there. I can assure you of that. But no, so. Yeah, the mentality over there is a lot different in the UK. Over in the UK, you have such a supportive community for the decorators. And obviously, when I first started out, I made sure I was different from the get-go. I wanted a black van. I wanted to make sure my logos. I wanted to be premium, but I also wanted to be proud of something that I've sort of branded myself. I remember rocking up at the paint shop, And like it's all these white decorators, all these like in the white vans, all this old school. I remember getting dirty looks at the time. I just, you know, I didn't really care because I felt proud of what I was doing. Do you know what I mean? And that's where it just things just started clicking for me with the social media sides of things. I'm quite good with the old technology in me. So a lot of people I've found, obviously, when I was going out on my own, was a lot of the trades just sort of tried to take the piss, because there is a saying, when they can't do it, they're just going to take the piss, aren't they? But that's where it is different in the UK. Like, you do get quite a supportive community, and they back that, and it's just that's why it's a bit disappointing, actually, because even in the Isle of Man, you have to, like, to get the qualifications. Like, yeah, you can go and get your City and Guilds qualification. You can do 3 years in college. But, like, to do the learn to spraying and stuff like that, you have to come across to do it.
Nothing over there.
It's just nothing over there. It's just dead. And the thing is, with the competition in the Isle of Man as well, is even though there's a couple of decorators over there, I don't want to name them, because I do respect them, because they are very good at what they do. Very good. But they could have, in my opinion, took the reign there and trained people, because they are the best at what they do over there, and they could have trained with like the spraying and stuff and made money out of it, but also educate people. But they chose not to, because in their head in the Isle of Man, that's competition.
Scarcity mindset, mate, isn't it? I think, I mean, you're saying like it's better in the UK. I guess the UK as general it is. But I remember where I first established my business was quite like it's a relatively decent sized town, but the local competition was like that. So you go in the trade centre and it's the, like, you know, the side eyes and nobody wants to speak. It's changed now. I think social media has changed it, because to me, I think the reason why people are so supportive on things like social media and the decorating community on social media is because they're not your competition. I think in most cases, like most of the people I talk to, I can go and tell them how to do this or how to do that, or give them a tip, because they're, you know, 300 mile away from me.
Yeah.
Whereas I guess the Isle of Man, everyone's your competition on that island, potentially.
Yeah, it is.
You travel around the whole island in...
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes.
Right, okay. But I'm just getting my dimensions right, mate, to know.
The best thing about the Isle of Man is once you've got a loyal customer base, they're loyal. Like, it really is. And your name is, like, that's another thing as well. The reason I do the socials and stuff, it's like, it just flies around the island. It just, like, everyone knows who you are, do you know what I mean, straight away. And I am quite proud of that, of what I've achieved. But I think I did get myself into quite a dark place. Like, obviously, after the debt thing, and I got myself out of it, my dad, so it was just, obviously COVID happened, we went into lockdown, and my dad had a heart attack at, I think, 2021, he had a heart attack.
I'm sorry to hear
that. I'm the type of person, I just don't like speaking about my feelings. So being on here and talking about this now is like, it's quite, I just don't do it. I sort of bottle it in.
A lot of us do, mate.
Yeah.
A lot of us do. I might sit here as a host of this podcast and talk like this, but I'm shit myself.
Yeah.
I've been, for ages now, meaning to do an episode the other side of it. Like, a lot of people have said to me, when are you going to sit down and talk about you? But, like, same thing, like, my missus is always on about me. Like, I bottle things. It's just easier, mate, isn't it? It's one of them things, in the short term, it's easier to pretend it ain't happening than to face it head on.
Yeah, definitely. I think, for me, though, obviously, with that happening, I just remember, obviously, through lockdown, I think we were allowed to work on exteriors at the time.
I was going to say, what was the situation like in that time period over there?
I don't know if we follow the UK, I'm not sure, but...
Because it was different, like England, Scotland, Wales was all fucking different.
So at the time I had subcontractor working for me, we were working on exterior, and I know then, because I remember it well, he basically said to me, he was like, so the subcontract, basically we could go and work on exteriors, and the subcontractor's got like 250 quid a week or something, if they obviously just took the help for the government. And I just said, you know, he said to me, he's like, oh, John, you know, if you need to get out and about for your family and that, you know, I'll take over the reins while, obviously I'll earn the money while you go and sort out passing my dad. So I was like, I really appreciate that, thanks. Didn't show up for a week the next morning. And then when I said,
Brilliant, yeah.
and then when I said to him when I come back, he was like, "Well, I got paid for it, didn't I?" And I was just like, 250 quid, mate. You would have got a whole week's wage in. Do you know what I mean? I was just these are the things like. I do think when you get employees and stuff, you have to learn. Like, for me, I just don't like selfish people. Do you know what I mean? That's the
100%.
hardest part.
Let's pause there to thank this episode's sponsors, Monarch. Monarch have sent me a couple of their new products to talk about. First of all is the 9-inch roller bucket. So this roller bucket fits a 9-inch roller. It's a little bit special because the lid on this bucket also turns into a roller tray. So it has two functions. First of all, you've got a feature wall to do. That roller tray is perfect for that. Second of all, if you want to pop out for lunch, you can pop your roller and your brush in the bucket, pop the lid on, and you know that it's going to stay wet and it's perfectly safe. So there's no danger of paint contamination. Second of all, in front of me here, I have the Monarch rat tail brush. These brushes have a long raw timber handle. They have a fully synthetic filament that are designed to hold less paint. This makes them perfect for cutting in your intricate areas and also for finishing things like woodwork and trim. Now, go and check these products out. They're absolutely fantastic. A huge thank you to Monarch for supporting the Talking Tradesman podcast and helping me on my mission to raise mental health awareness in construction. Let's get back to the episode. Yeah.
It's fine. It's the characters you get in.
Yeah.
But he was, even though I do like him, he's a lovely guy, but like there was, he wasn't there for very long after that, to be honest with you. But
part of the fucking hard part of running or scaling a business, mate. This is well, no doubt we'll talk about it, but yeah, it's difficult because you're the only person that ever sees your business like you do, and you're the only person that wants to. You know, your name is it's your badge of honour. It's your identity for you.
Yeah.
But to them, it's not. They're working under John Skelton, so they're like it's like being hidden behind an umbrella. Like they're hidden behind the John Skelton umbrella. And if they fuck up, it's John Skelton that looks bad, not them. So yeah, it's a. But then again, you know, to a large extent, that's why they handicap their own career progression by doing that. So
definitely, So I think when it came to obviously like pushing my business, I need to get some. So I trained 2 people from the ground up. 2 apprentices, and to be honest with you, they were great. They grafted. They were quite talented, to be honest, both of them. Probably, you know, they are going to become very good decorators, just qualified. And the biggest thing for me was getting one of my best friends in, which is David Harden. So he is top drawer at his job, and he's like, we both work for the same person.
In fairness, mate, because obviously I know you referenced it pre-record. I saw the social media like match of the day thing that you did with your team. Was it the older chap?
Yeah. Oh, he got some ripping for that. You know, he hates it. He hates it because all his mates take the piss out of him. Like that's the difference, though. It's like he doesn't like that sort of stuff. He hates it. For me, I just think when people when people are knocking at his work, it's advertisement. You know what I mean? So like, I don't care what people think, and I reckon that's the reason my company has done so well. Is because I just think you're stuck in a dead end if you don't try something new or go out your comfort zone. And I generally think that's the main reason my company's done so well. Even though I don't want to be behind the camera. Like people think, oh, he loves the camera. I hate it. Like even when I put out my first videos and I was stood in front of the camera speaking to the camera, it was hard. Do you know what I mean? It was really hard. I looked shy. I was shy, but as you get used to it, it's like repetition, isn't it? Once you get used to it, right? Like even at your job, repetition, everything just gets easier. It's more natural.
100%, mate.
Like this is the first time I've done a podcast, and I'm nervous. I can see I'm quite nervous, but I'm sure after a couple of times of doing it, I'll be absolutely fine when I got to know you. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's just one of those things I'm really proud of when it comes to my business.
In fairness, mate, to give you props where they're due, like your branding and that is mint. It's on point. Your image, the branding for the business and that is really good. It looks prestige. It looks quality. I like the stuff that you've done. I think it does it will make you stand out from that different generation. There's room in the trade for everyone, and there's certain people that are happy where they are. They're never going to move past that, and that's cool. That's fine. The issue comes when they try and shoot you down for moving past that and trying new things. But as we said before, generally speaking, they take the piss out of you and laugh at you and then ask you how you did it.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, anything new is scary, and massive props to anyone that is a pioneer in doing something new, you know, because to a large extent, I mean, you know, like social media in the trades, there was somebody that is stepping out their comfort zone all the time, and then everyone follows them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And that's why that is where social media comes in. Like, I've obviously followed Kev, Paint Warrior and stuff like that. Who hasn't followed him? I mean, he's known by a lot of people, isn't he? But like,
he's known by a few.
Yeah, I know. Even the Isle of Man. He's doing better than me anyway, that's for sure.
Kev's a legend, to be fair. Big friend of the show. A friend of mine personally.
I say this year though, like, my business has scaled, but it's because I've got the backing of the team, be able to sort of make the money and then be able to put it back into the business more.
Yeah.
So like, I have been concentrating on, because I do love doing content and stuff like that. I do, not necessarily talking to the camera, but I do like the idea of just pushing that side of the business. But, you know, this year I've seen all that hard work I've been doing, getting the paid partnerships, you know, getting the back from Monarch, from obviously Nathan, which is massive for me. I'm really impressed with those brushes, to be fair. Like, I was, when he sent me the boxes and he was like, John, I only want True Band ambassadors, so don't they have me on here? So I was like, I'm going to send them to you. And then I tried it. And I've tried, you know, I like Kev's brushes. I think they're really good, to be honest with you, as well. But I also love, like, Monarchs as well. I just feel like they have a brush for everyone.
In fairness, mate, I said this on an episode I recorded a couple of episodes ago. The reality is, like, you know, I've got a lot of respect for Monarch. In fact, Monarch are sponsoring this episode as well. So, good timing, John.
Well done, Nathan.
But yeah, so a lot of respect for them, a lot of respect for... I use various different... Listen, like, hands up. Highly rate Kev's brushes. I'm an ambassador for Paint Warrior brand. That doesn't then mean that I automatically discredit or hate everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's where I think things are going a little bit pear-shaped at the minute, is it's this tribalism about, right, you've got to pick. And once you've picked that, you can't like anything else. It's not the case.
I do think, though, I just don't think this... Like, I couldn't do it. If I thought something was shit, I wouldn't back it. Would you back it with something shit? Like, I know when you had to do a video for that and it's shit. I couldn't do that. It's just fake. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely not, mate.
So, like, that's definitely something, like, I'm glad I really did like the brushes, to be honest with you, because I just couldn't.
Would have been awkward.
There's a few companies I've asked before, and I was just like, I couldn't do it, because I actually do think the product's pretty shit, to be honest with you. So I just couldn't do it.
I've had the same. I've had the same. It's I mean, the podcast platform is a little bit different, because what I'm doing, like the partnerships that I'm doing through the podcast, the brands that I'm speaking to, that's supporting this. That's supporting the podcast, the movement, raising mental health awareness, and that's open door to anyone. But in my business, the RDP side of things, I'm the same. I'm not going to promote something I don't believe in, because ultimately that's my brand value. You know, and if people that know me can't trust me, then what have you got left?
Pretty much.
You know,
it's definitely true. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, I have this year. I'm going to try, like yourself, you do a lot of this sort of stuff. I've obviously tried to bring out a clothing range which is for charity. There's a company on the Isle of Man. I was going to do a UK charity, but there's just no point, because the Isle of Man, obviously, they do back the locals, and you know, I'm pretty sure the UK would want to buy it because the Isle of Man in it as well. But there's a charity called Wish Upon a Dream. Leslie Turnbull runs it.
Is this because was it last year or the year before you did that project, didn't you, for that young lad?
No, that was Lucas, you say. So
yeah,
Lucas. So I did a competition. I raised about I think it was like around $4,000, until my Instagram decided it wanted to block me for some reason. I think it was because I was promoting like a charity thing on there. Yeah. It didn't put, fundraising or something.
Oh, okay.
I managed to get it unblocked, though.
Right.
Unblocked it. But yeah, I couldn't advertise for ages on that. But yeah, no, I obviously $4,000 we got done. I wanted to get a bit more in, to be honest, so we could only get a certain amount. But I managed to get some trades involved to sort of donate stuff, to build stuff, like sort of fit in with. It took a while. Like, that wasn't easy. Cause
I did see that, mate. I was following along the story when you were doing that, like, as in,
it took
all the
ages.
progress.
I think it took like 6 months, mate, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because like I had to find the time. Other workmen had to find the time. It was a lot, to be fair. But seeing that kid's face, I couldn't even tell you what illness he has, because it's such one of those really hard, long words. But he was he's obviously in a wheelchair, and he is quite heavily disabled. But his face when he seen that room, he absolutely loved it. I got one of those little infinity mirror things, and he was hitting it and stuff. But that's what it's all about, you know, using your own trade to help someone else. It's just amazing. And that sort of like, I wanted to do a similar thing that wouldn't. It was a bit easier to do something this time for obviously the charity. And this way, I've sort of tried to off-brand, sort of like using, because I obviously called the Crown Painter. I've tried to bring out a clothing range which is not just for like decorators. It's sort of everyone so can wear it. So it's like, if you go into obviously my website, you can see it there. I think I've got maybe 4 concepts on there. I've got the samples coming soon, but it's one for everyone, even the females. It's really nice, and 50% of that is going to go to charity. Now, obviously, the other 50%, I'm just going to get my money back spent on it because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
So I just want the money back spent on it. But
Mate, listen, it's so essentially what you're saying is 100% of profit is going to charity once you've recouped your initial investment.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's the idea behind that. But it's also brand awareness as well. Like, do you know what I mean? So that's what I've wanted to do. And that's why, at the end of the day, this is why I'm on the show as well. Because not only did I want to speak about what I went through with my dad, because...
We got to the point, mate, we'll pull it back to that. You said in 2021 he had a heart attack.
Yeah, so he had a heart attack.
Was that during COVID, John?
That was during COVID, yeah.
So did you have to go through that whole couldn't see him bullshit?
Yeah, there was no one at his fucking funeral. It was just me and my family.
Oh, sorry. So he had a heart attack and passed away?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, sorry. I didn't take it. Sorry, when you said it, I didn't take it that way. I thought, like, as in...
It was quite bad. He was quite a big lad, to be fair, but my mum, she was quite weak, and, like, she used to be... What's so horrible about it is my mum used to be a nurse. She used to train nurses, and she couldn't even get him out of his chair. He had a heart attack in the office. She couldn't even get him out of the chair to try and give him CPR.
Mate, do you know what?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm so sorry to hear that you guys went through that. It's never a good time to go through it, but at that particular time, I've got some strong opinions about the whole situation around the lockdowns and not being able to. And you went through all that.
Yeah. So I remember my mum rang me. She was, at the time, we couldn't do anything. I think I was just sat playing Warzone, as you do, like with my friends. You know what I mean? There was like 10 of us just playing on that. But like, I remember mum ringing me. She's like, "Oh, your dad's dead and stuff." And because me being me, like I said, I don't like, obviously I was broken, I was crying, but I couldn't bring myself to go to the house until he got taken away in the ambulance.
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't see it. I didn't want to see the last picture of my dad being taken away, like dead. I wanted the last memory to be a good memory. Do you know what I mean? I always said that to my mum. Obviously I did carry the casket and stuff like that, but that was the most difficult period for me. And then after that, because obviously he was my accountant, I depended on him so much. And to be fair, he did hold my hand through a lot of the finance stuff, and he helped me out a lot. And I was very incredibly lucky out of that. I say the one thing that has come out of it, obviously, someone who knew bought my dad's company. He took on my accounts for free for the year. Did not do a good job whatsoever. Had severe amount of tax I had to pay off after him, so paid that off now. And that was a learning curve, because at the end of the day I got a new accountant who actually did the job, and I pay them, and it's amazing now. They do everything. Do you know what I mean? Just send me the bill every month, everything sorted, reminders. I just got nothing of that. And it's just a reminder, everything my dad did for me. And it sort of did make me grow up a bit. It's like, you need to stop. There's no one now you can go to turn to.
Safety net was gone.
Safety net was gone. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, since I got rid of that, I got over that obstacle with the tax and stuff, and I did start doing it for me, and I did grow up, better things came. I managed to scale, I managed to earn more money, I managed to like grow the business, pay the bills, just do everything properly. Do you know what I mean? And that's where I'm at now. But it's just, I have just tried to get like the right people for my company, and I don't think I'd go on any more people. It's hard as it is. Do you know what I mean?
How many you got now?
Well, at the moment, it's 5 of us at the moment,
including you.
Yeah, including me. Yeah. One of them has come along just to do this videography side of things. It's worked for the time being, but we're just gonna, when he does leave, we're just gonna continue doing stuff on the side with each other, because we're good friends and we do a lot for each other business wise, and I want him to do well for himself as well. But that's the main thing. So obviously getting Dave in was massive. Same experience, really good decorator, better than me some stuff as well. So we rub well against each other. And And there's just Harry's just qualified. He's a good lad, comes in every day, clean and tidy. I think when it comes to tradesmen, it's being respectful, clean and tidy, and just like, don't be a chancer. Do you know what I mean? And then I think when you stay at a company for so long, yes, it is ready time to go when you feel like you have learned everything you need to know. But in my opinion, like from what I did, I was with my boss for, I think it was like 11 years, and it was only then where I started realising I could actually do everything. He was leaving me on everything, like the wallpaper and this and that. I was like, and I'm struggling. It's ready time to go. Do you know what I mean? But I do feel like now, a lot of the apprentices, when they just qualify, I feel like they can just go out on their own.
Let's pause there quickly to thank our headline sponsors, Zinza. And in particular, take a moment to talk about their incredible product, Zinza Bin Aqua. Zinza Bin Aqua is a water-based primer, sealer, stain killer and odour blocker all in one. It has trace VOCs. You can use this product inside and outside, and it will block knots, sap streaks, water, mould stains and more. We've used Zinza Bin Aqua in our business on many occasions, and it has never let us down. With that in mind, let's get back to the episode.
And fair play if you can do it. Fair play.
I think, I agree with you. There is a lot of that, and I think social media has something to do with that as well. I just think it's a really hard fucking landscape at the minute, John. Because the reason I say, like, you yourself having that many people on is quite a rarity now. Yeah. That's almost like a big, small company. And I've been there myself, so at my biggest point, I'd got me and 5, so there were 6 of us. And that isn't just to go one up on you, mate.
Yeah. So anyone want a job?
Exactly. But I got to that point, mate, and when I was in it, it felt great. Money was great. That was actually, I was at that stage just as COVID hit. So in 2020, there was 6 of us. I was running, we had a big job where we were all on, which was great. And then after that, because we specialise in high-end domestic, I had 3 teams of 2. So I got like 2 lads here, 2 lads here, 2 lads here. Mate, it was fucking murder. So I spent my whole time driving between all the jobs, trying to keep an eye on everything.
Shit as well.
And do you know what, mate? I virtually stopped working. So I became project manager. So actually my money went down because at the, not blowing my own trumpet, but at the time I was the best decorator on the company. So all of a sudden now I'm gone. I'm chasing around everybody else. And I've had this conversation with a friend of mine that, he's scaled his business up into the millions now and he's got like 40 odd lads. But he said to me, he's like, mate, honestly, you're either best off having like 2 or 3 of you or 20. That in-between bit is shit.
I feel like as well, though, on the element, I just feel like if I scale too big, even though I've worked so hard for my name and everything like that, and I'm just there, just twiddling, doing the paperwork, I just feel like it's a really bad look. I like, especially for people who are doing the work for me, it's like,
exactly,
he's just earning the money, he's not working, he's not grafting, and like, it doesn't, I've been in that shoes, mate, it does annoy the employees, do you know what I mean? Like,
do you find that the customer, though, is thinking, well, I want John here? I've employed John Skelton, I want John here.
Now, I did have that when I first started employing people. I did have that quite a lot, to be honest with you. It's got easier over the last couple of years. I feel people know now I've got a team, and that's what they just expect. When it was just me, they were saying stuff like that all the time. But obviously, with having Dave on board and that, they are quite happy to have him there. Because when I'm not there, he's just good. Everything's done properly. Do you know what I mean? Every writes a list of stuff. He knows how to work a job out properly. He's clean, he's tidy. I just think that's the biggest thing. I can't stand coming into a house at the end of the next day. Like, when you left them on a job, and it's like, why is there shit everywhere?
Oh, mate, yeah.
It's just
absolutely.
just fucking hoover up, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just simple things like that. We're not Sparkies.
It's such a big fucking thing for customers as well. Leaving respect the house, keep it neat and tidy. I apologise because I took you away from the subject of apprentices there because I was talking. The reason what I was trying to say was, there's not that many companies out there on the smaller scale that actually employ people. So I think some of the time with the apprentice situation, it might not be that they want to go and run their own business, but it's like being kicked out of the nest. It's like, well, you're qualified now, off your trot. Because, like, for me, I don't employ anyone. So it's subbies. Because for me, going through pension contributions and holiday pay and all that, it doesn't work in my business model currently. And there's not many companies. Like, my local area, and we're on the outskirts of like Birmingham and some big cities. high population areas, but the only companies that employ people are the ones that seem to be doing like school contracts, council contracts, like those big kind of contracts.
Yeah.
Everyone else is subcontracting.
So you do yeah.
Yeah, so I use subcontractors.
What's the subcontractor law like over here? Is it all right?
Yeah.
Fucking shit in the Isle of
As
Man.
long as you, I mean, listen, you got to play the game.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, you play the game.
Can't say that on camera.
You play the game by the rules. You
Pay
know
your
what I mean?
taxes.
Exactly. Listen, they pay their tax, I pay my tax, everyone's happy.
Yeah.
But you know, the CIS, I remember working in construction. I took over the business in 2001. And back then there was no CIS scheme. It was just, I mean, it was literally like cash bungs everywhere, and that went down. So it's a lot better than that now. But when it comes to running a small business, like my personal workload fluctuates. So we have times where I might be doing specialist work, I might be doing specialist wallpaper installation or spray work. Yeah. I ain't got lads I can rely on for that.
That's pretty much what I am. So that's why I do need to get them. I do need to like get Dave and Harry and that to the spraying course. I need to do it because I want, one, they need to progress in that and they want to do it for themselves. But two, I can't be asked doing it all the time. It's just annoying every fucking time when it's spraying. That's what I mean. And I just want them to do it because I know they want to do it as well. Do you know what I mean?
One of our sponsors, mate, Jamie at Abode. I know you'd shoot me if I didn't say this now. Jamie's a good lad.
He dropped me a message. Yeah, he said it gets sorted out. I still need to send him my email. Sorry.
There you go. But yeah, it sponsors the podcast, mate. But I did, so me and my son trained with Jamie. Cracking. Like the plus point with Jamie, I think loads of hands-on time on the machine.
Yeah.
So you do get a lot of time. Your lads would have a lot of time on the
annoying
machine.
Because I do actually have two machines there. Do you know what I mean? And just one's just sat there. Do you know what I mean? And lock up. It's just like two Tritechs, but it's one of them. It's not ideal. Do you know what I mean? It's constantly me. I would be love to just be able to go to another job and finish it and do that because I just think it would. One, it's in their portfolio, and two, like
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's the next on the list is doing that. Really.
And are they lads that, like, because again, another big concern when it comes to having lads on is that if you train them up to the point where they are, say, as good as you, they get to stay with you?
Yeah.
Or they're going to want, you know?
Well, listen, I've had the problem. I've had one who I trained up. I'm not going to say his name. But I always said to him, you know, he wanted this money. And I said to him, I'd pay you this money, but I want the bare minimum. Like, you got the van, tidy the van, do this, do that. Like, just the bare minimum that you'd expect anyone to do off that money. And, like, he just wouldn't do it. You'd have to, like, clean clothes. You'd have to have a go at him to wear clean clothes. Like, do you know what I mean? Just come in, like, it was just stuff like, it was just, like, easy things to do, and I give you the money. But he just, you know, he ended up just leaving to go to another company for more money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But with the lad I've got now, he knows that I've said to him, you know, if it was me and I was you, I'd be staying, like, yeah, you've got a pay rise now, you're qualified. I'd be staying with me. Like, ideally, if you go to a better company, you're going to get more hands-on, more training, more this and that. Go and do it. But, you know, better money. But if you're going to go back and just do site work and just go and do, like, things that you're not going to achieve stuff or get better at things, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Because you're stopping yourself then going forward. The
problem is, mate, there's this huge gulf, right, where people get good at a job and they believe that then they can go on their own and run a business. But being a good tradesperson and being a good business person,
it's hard, isn't it?
Fucking worlds apart, mate.
When I first went out on my own, oh my God, the amount of people who try to have me off, I can't even, like, thank God for terms and conditions. I have a full A4, like, literally, just they try a loophole every time. Do
you know what, John? I remember, and he'll know who he is if he ever listens to this. Hopefully he don't. But one of my old lads, so over my time in business, I've probably had, maybe 30, 40 lads come through my business in terms of working for me. And I've had apprentices, I've had experience, I've had all sorts. But one of the lads, and like he said, like, in fact, he subs to me now. I've just booked him in to do a job in September, like we get on sound now. But he came to me when he was 21 and he'd done his qualification, he'd done his apprenticeship. And I remember having this, I was scratching my head, mate, because we were on a job and he was trying to get more money and he told me what he wanted. And I was like, I can't pay you that because that's what I'm charging you out at. He was like, well, exactly. So pay me that. I'm like, yeah, but that's what I'm getting paid. He was like, yeah, So you're ripping me off. I was like,
fucking chances, mate.
no, mate, that's not how it works. And I was trying to explain that why the fuck would I have you work for me and pay you exactly what I'm getting back for you being on site?
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I doing that? What's in that for me? And he was like, yeah, exactly. So you're robbing me. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And eventually he went off. He went off and actually set his own business up. And I reckon, in credit to him, mate, I tip my hat. Because a couple of years later, he rung me up randomly. Because we always got on. Like, I treat my relationships with the lads that work for me, generally, it's very business. And like the lads, if anyone that's listening to this has worked for me, they'll know I'm fucking straight down the line with business.
Yeah.
Personal, different. Like, if we can be friendly, but you fuck me over with business, you're gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty much like as well. I feel like...
I think you got to keep that line.
Yeah, I know you do. I want to say I go back to being like chance and stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Just... Here's one for you. You love this one. Talking about what you was just talking about money there. So, I had an apprentice. Never did an ounce of overtime unless it was in his terms. Never one answer when I needed him. Never did it. Right. Then when he qualified, I heard him down the house speaking to the other, like, oh, when I qualify, I'm going to make this much money a week and this and that, blah, blah. And then he comes upstairs to me. He's like, right, John, in July, can I start doing loads of overtime? I was like, well, why now? Do you know what I mean? Because he's getting the money. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why now? So that sort of, obviously his stuff doesn't work for me anymore, but it's just like that. It's just like, you know what I mean? I never say that shit. I never say that shit to my old boss.
In credit, mate, like the lad that I was talking about, as I say, a couple of years later, he actually rung me up and he went, yeah, Ross, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. He had a little bit of banter. He went, mate, I just wanted to say, I get it. He was like, oh, fuck it. Because he'd gone off on his own and he'd had somebody come and work for him. Not a bad painter, to be fair. And he was like, I get it now. I get everything that you said to me that I just didn't understand at the time. I get it. I was a right prick. I was like, fair play, though. You know, like I say, we get on well now, and he's back. He's subbed for me last year. He's going to do some more for me this year. But it's just that, I mean, this is business. If you're not taught business, why would you understand it?
Yeah,
but there's many tradespeople out there, unfortunately, believe that by being good at their trade, that means they can run a good business, and it's so far from the truth. You don't
realise when you get home, though, you're still on the phone.
That's
I constantly, I have my missus now, Rachel, her name is, she constantly has a go at me being on my phone. But it's because I'm constantly working, and then she's just like it's acting like I'm talking to my friends and that. It's just business.
Do you know what, John?
Do you know what I mean? It's just I actually put my friends trying to message me. I just put my phone down.
I had this conversation, mate, with another guest the other day, and I said, "Don't you find it's different?" Like my missus, if I get my laptop out, I can sit on it. She won't say a word to me because it's obvious I'm working. Yeah. But if I work through my phone, you're on your phone.
Oh, so
don't you find there's a difference? Like. Through the laptop, I'm sweet because my missus, in fairness to her, like she's in business herself. She understands business. Yeah. So if she thinks I'm working, she's sound with it. But if she thinks I'm just sat on my phone scrolling, she's like, "No, I can see your finger doing that." I'm like, "Fucking responding to emails."
Yeah, she can't stand it. She absolutely hates it.
It's a tough life.
It's like when you go on holiday. There's no such thing. I'm telling you now. If you're self-employed and you're a boss, you don't have a holiday.
Yeah,
you do not have a holiday.
John, like, people message you. I've tried it, man. Like, do you keep work rolling while you're away?
Yeah, because it's either I've got someone messaging me saying they need to do something on the job, or I've got the customer complaining that we're not there. Or, do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just constant stuff all the time.
I used to, mate. I've changed now. So I used to, when I'd got all the lads on, I'd do the same. I'd book a week off. I'd book them in on jobs. Try and keep it a nice, easy one comes in. I'll save that for when I'm on holiday. I'd put them on jobs. And I just got to the point where I just couldn't do it. So I'd turn around and I'd pull them on it. I'd be like, lads, do you know what, mate? Next time I'm on holiday, you're all off. Yeah. Because I can't fucking have a break while you lot are at work, because it's like all common sense goes out the window.
It's the hardest. That's the biggest thing as well, as common sense, isn't it? Like, it's quite hard to you can't teach common sense, man. Honestly, I've had some people come through the door and I'm just like, you fucking joking me? I was just like, do you know what? Once had a decorator, right? He literally had the shakes. Then I mean, medically the shakes. And he wanted to be a decorator.
Could he paint straight?
No, I tested it. Could he fuck?
Really?
Literally, mate.
Fucking hell.
He started messaging me once. He's like, just got medication for it. And I was just like, it's just not going to work out for you, mate.
Yeah, fucking hell. No, it's strange, mate. I remember on many occasions, like, it's little things as well. Like, I'd be on holiday and I'd get one of the lads would ring me up and he'd be like, Russ, the bit of skirting behind the door in such a room, shall I cork it? I'd be like,
That's the shit I used to get.
what the fuck are you ringing me about that for, mate?
That's the shit I used to get.
But the lads that I'm talking about, I'm not, the one in particular, again, no names, but 24, he'd been decorating longer than me. And I remember just going, well, what would you do if I wasn't there? Well, I'd probably cork it. Well, there you go then. What the fuck have you rung me for?
That's
I'm on
exactly
holiday.
the shit I used to get, honestly, mate. Like, all that to be on holiday, a stupid question.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I went to a wedding in Mexico once, and they knew what the time was. It was like 8 hours in front or something. And he was messaging me and ringing me, like, I didn't even sleep. And he was ringing me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean? I was trying to get some sleep. It's just like, wait a couple of hours.
Yeah. But it's a weird one though, mate, because I kind of felt that if I was in the UK at work, he'd never have rung me about that. But the minute, I think psychologically, he knew I wasn't there, it's like panic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll give you, my old man's a great fucking example of this. So my old man's a decorator. I'm like third generation. And my old man used to work for me. My dad never wanted anything to do with the business side of things. It just weren't for him.
Oh, really?
He said to me, he was like, Russ, do you know what? Just tell me where to go, what you want doing, what time to be there. That's me. I'm sweet.
Nice.
If I ever said to me old man, right, Dad, I'm putting you in charge of this job, he would flap like fuck. He'd be like, no, that ain't my job. No. But if I put him on a job with the other lads and turned round to him and went, right, Dad, listen, can I just ask the lads to refer to you if it was all in the wording? Can I just get them to ask you anything to save bothering me? If you need to ring me, you ring me. But because I told him he could ring me, I essentially gave him site manager. Just didn't tell him he was a site manager. Right as rain. No problem at all. Loved it. If I'd have said to him, you're managing this one, his head would go. So I think there's something psychological with some people that they just don't want the pressure of it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like with Dave. I don't like calling him like, I don't like calling him my employee or like he works for me. I just feel like he's part of the team. I don't know. There's something about it. I just don't like saying that to Dave. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like he's more important to me than that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So I do see him. I tried to class him like he is a bit more important. But I think that, he appreciates that as well. That's why I have a good relationship, to be honest with you. And I try not to. He's got a very if you speak to him in the wrong way, you can flip. Do you know what I mean? So we know each other very well, so I know how to approach him. Do you know what I mean? So, but that's the reason it's done so well. I think it was risky game getting one of your best mates to come and work with you. Though, do you know what I mean?
That's a tough one, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
It was risky.
Are you settled on Isle of Man then, John? Like, are you? Is that it? Would you ever consider moving? Or
honestly, if I didn't have my business there. Didn't have my child there, I would have moved to the UK, 100%. I've got two of my friends now moved to the UK.
Do you not think you could translate it over to the UK if you wanted to?
I just don't want to build my business again from scratch. And I just don't. I miss my daughter too much. Like, I just couldn't do it. Plus, I'll get shit off the mum. Do you know what I mean? So it would be proper difficult. But I love to do it. But like I've spent so long building something in the Isle of Man to be up there. I'd be starting at the bottom of the food chain again, wouldn't I? Do you know what I mean?
I don't think you would, mate. I think so. It depends what you were willing to do. I went through a stage in my business. We used to do national work, so we used to work all around the UK, like insurance contracting. It was good shit work, good money, shit work. But we used to travel all around the UK. It depends what you do.
If I was left with no staff, I'd think about it, and if my daughter was older, I'd think about it. Yeah,
I don't know enough about the Isle of Man to think that you'd want to. It might be fucking idyllic over there.
And honestly, mate, it's such a lovely place, but like everyone knows everyone. Do you know what I mean? Over there, it's like it's that bad. Do you know what I mean? Like you all got to walk past a guy you see. It's mental.
What was it like growing up there? Just out of interest.
It's good, really good. Yeah, I mean, like you can just play in the estate. It's safe. There's no stabbings or anything like that. You have the occasional crime. Like when I say there's no stabbings, there's but it's safe. Like it's very safe. But I'd recommend anyone who likes the quiet life, who likes the country, who likes this, to definitely go to the Isle of Man, 100%. Like even like the TT. I've told Kev to go over to the TT, to be fair, because I think he'd love it. He's into his bikes, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I told him to get over there. But it is a lovely place, and like I said, the community over there is so special. Like as soon as you make a name for yourself over there, you're flying. Do you know what I mean? Like you really are. Like people just know who you are. Word of mouth does travel in the Isle of Man as well, so you don't necessarily have to be good. Being good on social media is just puts you in another caliber, but like word of mouth does go. You can still go through the island on word of mouth. But I've no desperate rush to leave the Isle of Man. I just feel like, it'd just be hard. I think more my daughter than anything. But my partner's moved from the UK. She's from down Bawtry.
Okay.
Doncaster there. Yeah.
How easy is it? Like, I don't know, what is it, flying out, or is it ferries? Like, what's the crack?
Well, she gets the boat down. She drives down and gets the boat over. She moved over now with me. But I flew over today to Birmingham. I just rented a little
What an effort. What an effort.
Just to get on this show.
Flying in.
I know. Just do something different though, isn't it? But, no, obviously got a little electric car. So I actually thought it was all right, you know.
What car is it? Out of interest.
I don't know actually.
Little zippy thing.
It's a Fiat, is it a Fiat? Nah, something Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all right though.
It's nice.
It's a nippy little car. It's all right, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's just I feel I feel like you'd like the Isle of Man. I do. Like if you go in over there, go in the summer. Do not go in the winter. Everyone just hibernates in the winter, and it's just horrible.
Grass is always greener, John, and I mean, me personally, so I grew up in a town that's probably about 40 minutes from here, but it's just south of Birmingham, but it's turned into like a mini Birmingham. Like, so most of my childhood, if I were out at the weekend, I was in Birmingham. So I lived in a big town, and I used to socialise in cities. So like me moving out here now is quaint, but I've got to that stage in life where I'm like, yeah, fuck all that busy. Like, I go down to London now and again. I'm like, oh, I cannot wait to get out of there. Sorry to any Londoners, but the busyness, it just.
Rachel's a bit like that, but like she's I've obviously moved to the Isle of Man because of me. She likes it, she loves it, and she hates it. But she obviously should love to come back. But she's from down Bawtry end, so like it's quite quiet down there. Do you know what I mean? Okay. It's quite nice.
I don't even know where that is, mate. Where's that?
Just out of Doncaster there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So east.
So Yorkshire side, but I think it's Yorkshire. Yeah,
it's Yorkshire. Yeah, I think it's over that way.
She'll kill me for saying
if it's not Yorkshire. I do apologise. It's up further than me.
But yeah, no. That's another thing as well. Same with the girls in the Isle of Man. It's just you have to come to the UK to get the decent ones. You do, because
is that just because you've used up the limit in the Isle of Man?
I'm not going to say that on camera. I am not going to say that on camera whatsoever.
I guess, mate, your Tinder on the Isle of Man must be interesting. It's got like the mileage limit in it.
Swipe right. They just know everyone. It is horrible over there. Like everyone knows everyone. It's just mental.
I can imagine.
Like if you've been out, well, you've seen a girl, you know who she's seen. It's crazy, and then more like he's an acquaintance and you spoke to him, it's just awkward.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, it's quite bad. But respect to Rachel, she's obviously come over and she's had to deal with a few things like that. Do you know what I mean? But because she's just not like that whatsoever. She's actually a very respectable girl and quite lucky to have her.
I mean, I feel like we're doing a travel show now, but like, how friendly is it if you were to go over as a non-native? Like, is it a friendly place, or is it one of them where you walk into a bar and the whole place goes quiet because somebody's walked in that nobody knows?
Well, for starters, you walked into the bar, probably no one in there.
Oh, right, as good as that.
It's the nightlife over there is dead. It's really bad. Like all the shops and that, they're all shutting in town.
Really?
Yeah, we just don't have it. They just don't want to investigate anyone decent in. So we've got like flannels and stuff like that. But it's just, it is like TT week. If you're going to come over and you like the bikes and that, like TT week's probably the best time to come because it's dead lively. Do you know what I mean? There's loads to do. Loads of the pubs, the clubs, they're all busy on TT week. It's like the only time. It's like we do get some serious money on the Isle of Man from the TT. But I definitely think though, if you tried to bring this over to the Isle of Man, I definitely think you'd get sorted out something.
Well, I said to you pre-record, anyone listening, any brands, sponsors, whatever, I do want to do like a road, like a tour. Like I've said to a couple of people, I think like in my head, I'm envisaging like a camper van and going off on the road for like 2-3 weeks, travel around the UK, drop into Ireland, the Isle of Man, Isle of Wight, wherever, and be able to reach those people that have got a story to tell that might not be able to come here.
I think the Isle of Man government are quite good, to be honest. If you're going to back stuff like that, they will back you. Do you know what I mean? They are quite good in that respect. You can go to the colleges and stuff like that. They are quite good with the old mental health and all stuff like that in the Isle of Man. Like when any of the local charities try to set up, they do try and back them quite a lot. So it is a good place. I definitely think you get a few people on.
Interesting.
Just because obviously you're following and stuff like that. But then again, we're living in a world in the Isle of Man where they're not quite up to scratch with everything.
I'd like to, mate, because genuinely, like I'm so grateful people like yourself that have travelled so far to come and sit here. I've had people come down from the Highlands of Scotland. I've had people come from Ireland. I'm going to claim that Brian from Pretty Boy come all the way from New York. But I've had people travel a long, long way and do some hell of a round trips to come and be here with me. But I'm very conscious that there are going to be people out there that deserve to be listened to that won't be able to travel for whatever reasons. Might be health, might be finances, might be whatever. And it would be lovely to be able to plan it properly and put put that roadmap up and be like, I'm going to be here between these dates, reach out. Yeah. And I could take a lot of this, set up mobile, so I could do it from the back of a motorhome or a fucking gazebo or something. I don't know. I could find something, even in people's houses if they were willing to have me, to be fair. You know,
honestly, there's a few people. There's a few people you can message on the Isle of Man who have like a podcasting room, and I'm sure they're happy to help. Do you know what I mean? Definitely would. Like I say, it is a good community. If you're going to do something good for the island, they're willing to support you, and that's one of the good things about the Isle of Man. In ways, a lot better than the UK. In others, it's just a little bit behind.
What's the nearest UK city then? Would it be Liverpool or
Liverpool? Yeah.
I take it. Is there a ferry between the two?
Yeah. There or Haitian, or we can get a flight. We can get the flight to like Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, London, Stansted, and Gatwick.
How long's the ferry?
The ferry depends what you get. I think like the Manxman, which is a really nice boat, that is about 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the other one, which is like the Manannan, it's quite deep, but it's like quite speedy. I think that's like 2.5 hours or something. But yeah, no, I've just grown quite used to it, to be honest.
I'm just projecting for you, mate, because I can see and I'll speak to you about that, the way that your socials have been going more of late, like the videos that you're putting out, the direct camera stuff, the advice that you're giving, that kind of stuff. Where do you see that going, John? Because I was thinking, like, if you were to get things like content days, media, like things like the trade shows, man, they're well worth being a part of, but there might be opportunities coming your way from places that bring you over here a bit more.
Well, that's what I mean. There is, obviously, like I said, there's like 3 of them that, and doing stuff for Tradeify now, obviously a paid partnership, on the tools, Crown, that like there is quite a lot, and I will be at the trade show this year, and I'll be doing something down there. So it's unfortunately I have to come across to do it, but that's where the opportunities are. To be honest with you, one of my best mates, he moved over to the UK. He's moved. Don't know if you've heard of him. Warren Spencer, the mechanic, Misfits. He does the boxing. The Andrew Tate stuff.
Yeah.
So he's one of the closest friends. I always sort of knew he'd do quite well. But
is he a boxer himself or a promoter?
No, so Warren's just a man of all talents. Warren, to be fair, he's just tried it. He's tried everything, but he's good at fighting, to be honest with you. And he's been on a reality TV show before and stuff like that. But people, just because it's the Isle of Man mentality again, they knocked him down and stuff like that. But I always knew, and this is like when it comes to surrounding yourself with friends, like what you want to take bits of them and just make sure like you get the best bits out of them to sort of put on you. He was one of them. I've got a couple of other friends that have done well, but like I say, he's put so much hard work into it, and he's now doing really well for himself. Do you know what I mean? And now he's fighting in the cage fighting.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, his first professional boxer cage fighter. So basically, he's going to have to fight him now as well. But it's Conor McGregor's trainer or something. He was, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, what's he fighting? And that's on what platforms he fighting on? Misfits.
Misfits, yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Like I said, I'm not into it. For me, the boxing scene and that, I'm not massive into it, so my knowledge is not the best. But he's definitely done very well for himself, and that just shows like something you keep on working hard. Eventually, something's going to happen for you, and he's a prime example. And it's like everyone knocked him down the Isle of Man, and look at him now. Do you know what I mean?
100%, mate. Them lads
smashing.
They've always got stories. The episode that went out last Friday, actually, Aaron Ashton. Big shout out to Aaron. Bare knuckle heavyweight. He's on BKB, so it's the promotion in opposition, I guess, or like the competitor organisation to Conor McGregor's lot. But yeah, they've always got some stories, always some characters. Yeah,
it's definitely, you definitely need to surround yourself, don't you, with like positive people. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I remember I used to always get told I used to be quite a negative person, mate. I just had a friend who used to say to me, "Why are you always so negative?" And like, when you start like doing well and like being positive about things, and you surround yourself with negative people, it actually puts you down. Do you know what I mean?
1,000,000%,
It's
mate.
just no point of being around negative people.
Yeah.
But
Mate, your circle is so fucking important. It really is. I've been very lucky to be around some very inspiring, incredible people. And I see, like I witness, I'm always quite observant. I tend to stand back and watch. But I've seen the way people lift themselves up. But that works in reverse. If you are with negative people, then that's what happens. You pull each other down. You know what I mean? It's that like, woe is me. The victim mindset, that won't happen to me. I'm unlucky. My life's shit. Nothing good happens to me. That's all you ever attract then.
I just think as well, when you're winning, they should support you. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're winning, not just, you know what I mean? It's just that's when you do know who your friends are, when you're winning and they support you, like the messages and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm lucky. Like with my friendship group, at least 3 of them supported me when I went out of my business. They actually put money into my business. Do you know what I mean? Like gave me I've done loads of jobs for them and stuff, which I'm quite lucky. And all my friendship circle have done quite well for themselves. So in that respect, I'm lucky of having friends like that. But yeah, it's just really it, really.
Well, mate, there's fucking plenty in there, to be fair, John. You've gone through your own adversity, in fairness, in having... How old were you when you had your first child?
Fucking hell. I was around 22. I think it was like 22.
Mate, I was 22 when I had my son, who's now in the business, so...
I was so though when I had my daughter, I was so like sucked in, like I'd have her by my side. I was such a hands-on dad. It's only when they start like getting to little bastards, you know what I mean? You start stepping away a little bit because like once they start like becoming a duplicate of the moped, you know what I mean? So that was it really. But she's got her own personality now. She doesn't really like she struggled to get to hold your hand. Do you know what I mean? She's like,
how old is she now?
She's 9 now.
Oh yeah. They're just finding their own space in the world, aren't they? That's the thing.
But yeah, she's just one of them. She'll rather watch YouTube and all sorts like that. You know what I mean? She's doing her makeup and stuff.
Only gets my daughter's 12.
Worst thing you can do is give them a phone. I'm telling you.
How do you avoid it?
I know.
How do you avoid it now?
Especially when you have different views than the other parents. So that's you know what I mean? But it's one of them. I am lucky that she is absolutely incredible. She's a good girl. My daughter, to be fair. She's a really good girl.
And you said you got a child with your new partner as well?
No. We lost a baby about last September. Last one. It was like 12. Well, it was 12 weeks. It's one of them. It wasn't a nice experience, but it's just one of them. Really, it's life. And
I think.
Gotta get through it.
I mean, I won't push you on that experience at all, but I think that whole thing, like dads that do lose babies in pregnancy, I think it's a very underspoken about circumstance. I don't think there's enough given to that, because I know a few of my mates that have been through it, a couple of members of family that have been through it. I know how tough it is for people, and it doesn't really, I don't think it gets enough airtime or kudos really in society, that actually how rough that is.
For me it hurt more because obviously I've got a daughter. Do you know what I mean? Like I always said to myself, I'd just be happy just having a child. Like I'm lucky to have a child. Do you know what I mean? A baby. And then obviously when that happened, I was hurt. I was disappointed. But obviously I felt really sorry for Rachel because it's her first child and she really wanted. Do you know what I mean? And like she had to go through a lot, and that's what struggled with this, for the most. So. It's just one step at a time, really. It just kept us focusing on what I'm trying to achieve for the next couple of years.
What are you trying to achieve? What's like, that's cheesy shit, but what's the 5-year plan? Like, what are you trying to achieve with the business, John? Where do you want it to go?
Just step into new areas, really. But I'm trying to push it. I'm trying to push it as far as I can go and try and go down alleyways and stuff like that. That I'm not really. I feel like in business, you just got to keep on learning new stuff, do you know what I mean? And doing a lot of research and stuff like that. For me, from being from the Isle of Man, is just doing better what I'm doing now and hopefully stuff in the UK. I start getting more stuff in the UK because that might just be a little to you, do you know what I mean? But in the Isle of Man, it's massive.
No, not at all, mate. It's big. I said this pre-record. I think social media. So I don't know how many decorators there are in the UK, mate, but it'd be tens of thousands, right? The construction industry is fucking huge, but the vast proportion of that industry is still not on social media. You don't even know they exist because they're not out there.
Do you know that half the funny thing is like the majority of people, even on the Isle of Man, don't even know, like when they see me putting stuff up, they just think it's just sticking stuff up, but they don't know that that's also a paid job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not all of it. Some of it's passion, some of it's wanting me to reach out, it's advertising, but some of it's paid work.
But you know what?
People don't understand
the unpaid stuff, though, John, you have to do that to build your portfolio.
Yeah.
Because if you put stuff out there that isn't paid, who knows that a brand hasn't watched that and gone, I like that. I like what he's done. I like something about him. I like his delivery, whatever it might be. I mean, for example, a couple of weeks ago now, because I was on holiday last week, but I went down and did a content day, right? Mate, if you would have said to me 2 years ago, you'll do this, I'd have laughed at you. But a couple of weeks ago, I went and did a content day working with Leyland Decorator Centres, who are London-based, and CT1. And essentially, obviously, it was a paid content day. I went down and just interviewed the members of staff.
Was that with Byron as well?
No, just interviewed the staff, interviewed customers coming in and out, talking about, What was that? Oh, that was out the back. Poltergeist. But I was talking to the customers about the company. I was talking about mental health because it was tied into the podcast. I never imagined I'd do that, mate. I stood there with a microphone in front of a camera like I was a news reporter or something.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I never, ever imagined doing anything like that. So sky's the limit. As long as you're open-minded and you keep that positive mindset of like, why not? You know what I mean? Why can't I do that? Why can't it be me?
Joe, the biggest thing for me is this speculation that you can be, you can be. And people just take the piss out of you. But they don't realise that decorating so much more than that.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
And I don't believe it's the easiest trade. I don't care what anyone says. It is not the easiest trade to be in. It's not. I promise you now, like, the amount of calories we burn, everything, like, even when you see these little polls and stuff and they're talking about what's the easiest and that, the amount of calories you burn being a decorator and how, to get something even on price or whatever, you have to work your ass off. Absolutely. Like, and we are the finished trade. So, like, every other trade can get away with doing shit work. And we have to be the person to try and fix it. And then if it's not good enough, we get the blame for it. Do you know what I mean? Because we're the finished article. But that's like, I just think that's so wrong in our trade. I do think as well that it's bad that, like, we seem to be the only trade as well that doesn't need to show our trades cards, really.
Yeah. So would you have it regulated?
So not in the Isle of Man. So obviously, no.
No, I mean, would you, if it was up to you, would you regulate the trade?
To a certain extent, yeah. Like, I reckon when you use the machineries and stuff like that, I reckon it needs to be air sprayers and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah.
mate, I agree with the spraying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You can get some fucking horrible injuries off them.
Yeah. I think you should with them. There's a few other things as well. I think it does, because I think it would stop, if you don't have those, it would stop the decorators who just think they can do everything coming in and taking high rates. I think if we had them, we had to show the cards, then the customer knows they're getting the best possible job, the most experienced and qualified, and they're happy to pay that rate. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. And I think that would do quite well. But then if they don't have it, they know there's only a certain...
I'll take your point, mate. I mean, there's other... Because it's one of the things, like painting and decorating in Australia and America is way more highly regarded, but... You have to be licensed, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think both of them license their contractors. So I think there's pros and cons to it. I don't think the UK will ever do it. I understand your perspective. I agree with it, to be fair. I think if you could demonstrate that you were highly qualified, you could then use that to drive your prices. My viewpoint, I guess, on my own business and market standpoint is it don't really bother me. Like, in terms of... I've positioned my business at the top of the market anyway.
Yeah,
so we specialise in high-end domestic.
Yeah.
And I see it visually, like, in my mind, as a pyramid. So it's like there's room for the people at the bottom. And the reason I say that is because if you were to regulate the industry and you make it so it's all high value, that's great for us to understand. But what about them people at the bottom that might only have a very low budget, that do just want someone to come and bash it out? They're not that fussed about quality. It's going to be better than DIY, less than professional.
We'll stop them ringing us then.
Indeed,
it will. Go straight to their source. Do you know what I mean?
I think, like me personally, I filter those customers out quite quickly with a few questions. I very rarely use my time going to quote for them.
What I want to know is how handymen charge so much. And they do the painting and they're charging just as much as us. I think it's just insane. It's just like how they are not quicker. They don't produce better work. That's another thing as well, is people don't realise how much slower they might be. Even the cheaper ones, they might be cheaper, but they're much slower. So in hindsight, they're more expensive.
It's false economy on day rate. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I reckon so anyway. I just think...
No, you're right, mate. I have this conversation. So in my business, I don't really work on day rate. Everything's quote and price. I tend to pull away from letting customers know day rate. I've got some good friends in the decorating industry that only work on day rate because they do like restoration work, which is very hard to quote. Because obviously, if you're digging into things, you don't know if it's rotten or what.
I'm not gonna lie, I do a lot of day rate work. Like when I come to a job, even like for construction work, like sometimes it's just easy to just go day rate. Because like the amount of times you're going back, you're going forth, you're doing this, you're doing that. How are you meant a price for that, man?
I get it. In that circumstance, though, you are up against that. Like you're turning up and saying I'm 250. Somebody's turning up and saying they're 100. How do you justify the difference?
Yeah.
Explaining that to a customer is quite difficult.
Yeah.
Whereas me, like the way I see it is, I might say charge £300 a day or 1,500 quid a week, do a job in 3 days. Whereas the geezer who's only charging £100 is going to take 3 weeks to do the same job and actually be the same price or more expensive than me. I don't have that. If I'm honest with you, mate, I don't know whether it's a bit of ego or arrogance come in, but I've established my business in the market now to a point where I just don't even entertain arguing about price.
Yeah,
my price is my price, and
that's a bit what I'm like now. I do want to, of the way the markets are going at the moment, I do want to put it up a little bit. Not only for me though, it's just to pay my workmen a bit more, because I just feel like now, especially now that I don't know what the rates are, but on the Isle of Man, they're fucking expensive, man.
They vary massively, mate. I speak to. It's not going to surprise anyone to know, but if you're around that London circle, obviously the prices are.
Well, that's what it's meant to be like in the Isle of Man. It's the
really?
London prices. Yeah, but I know
Okay.
it's changed now. I know it's changed, like because I haven't changed my rate since last year, and the last time I've heard it's more expensive now. Like day rate. So
Let's come over to the Isle of Man then.
I don't know how much you charging over here.
Mate, it varies. I would say an average rate is probably around the 250 mark a day.
That's what I'm at the moment. It's
Around,
250.
yeah.
It's 250.
I'd say that's...
No, sorry, 200 I'm at, but I've heard it's 250 now. So
Mate, well, London rates now are about 4.
Oh, are they?
The reason, like, I did a job, it was probably a couple of years ago now, specialist wallpaper installation. And I won't lie, like, I went down, it was a job in Mayfair, and it was just to put some feature walls up. And like I saw, like the feature walls half the size of this wall, mega, like thousands of pounds worth of wallpaper. And I thought to myself, right, I'm going to have to. To me, when it comes to those jobs, you've got this risk to reward factor. Am I going to go down there and price that at 250? No, am I? Fuck.
Yeah.
Because if I cock that up, so I've doubled it. I've put my transport, my hotel, my parking was 80 quid a day. So I've put all this together.
You have to put all that fucking shite in it. We don't have to do that. No hotel, nothing.
I've had to put all that together. And then I've gone in with a price thinking that this contractor's going to look at that and laugh his bollocks off straight away. Yeah, no worries, when can you do it? I was like, what? He went, and I went, is that not... I said, price-wise, we're okay. He went, Russ, I'll be honest with you, mate. You're a specialist, and I know you've inflated your rates, but that's what we're paying normal people that can't do the job down here. Because it's London.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. To be honest, I would love to come over to the UK and do a project, and I know my workmen would love to come over and just do it. It's just a nice break, isn't it? Do a project. What's mental is you'll see people come to the Isle of Man to do work, but never from the Isle of Man to the UK. Yeah,
it varies massively though, John. I mean, I know some lads that are still charging 150. I know some people that are charging upwards of 300 on a day rate. So it varies massively. I mean, me personally, I always quote because I can make more profit. So whenever I put a quote in, I'm never just quoting day rate. I'm charging my labour cost, my business profit, and expenses on top. So to me, it's easier to make business profit when you're on a price.
Yeah, it is.
Because if you go in day rate and you say to a customer, well, look, my day rate is 200 a day, but...
It's mainly construction work I do that for.
Yeah.
So like I won't do that on like in a private. I'll just do an estimate. I'll put the estimate in. I never do fixed prices because one, fixed prices you can be fucked off it, and two, it's just like I just like going to do my job properly and not have to worry because it's never like even if it goes over, it's never over fucking like thousands. Do you know what I mean? And they're getting a good job at the end of the day.
In many ways, mate. If you've got lads working for you as well, day rate's easier because your profit lines are so easy. You're like, right, I'm charging 200, I'm paying you 150. There's my profit line on you. Really easy to work out. You haven't got the risk of okay, I'm dropping lads on a job. If they take longer, it's eating into the profit.
Yeah,
Eventually, oh shit, actually, I've paid them more than I've quoted the job. You know, you haven't got any of that to worry about. But that's your risk to reward as well. And I think the longer, the more experience you get, you know where to go, which way with it, you know?
No, I definitely understand what you're trying to say. I'd say it's one part of, I've been thinking, is it Spray Tech are doing a pricing thing, aren't they? I've noticed. They do like, to show you how to price up plans and stuff for spraying and stuff like that.
Not sure.
No, they're doing a course on it, which I'm actually interested. I was watching it. I was interested of thinking of going and doing that, to be fair.
Because, I mean, me personally, mate, what I'm finding within my business is that the more bespoke services pay more. So like at the moment, the job I'm doing at the minute is a hand-finished kitchen. It's a bit of a niche for it at the moment. Yeah. I don't know why. I went through a stage of spraying kitchens, and now the customers are being advised by designers to have a hand finish. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. But there's more money on that. There's more money on spray work. People say to me, "Oh, do you charge more for spraying?" Of course, I fucking do. Like,
I'd be afraid to get into the spraying. There's two people in the Isle of Man who are really good at spraying kitchens, but I'd be afraid to get into that because one, you'd have to get a workshop and stuff as well. Wouldn't you?
If you speak to Jamie will say yes, absolutely. You need a workshop.
Yeah.
I've done them without, mate.
Yeah.
I've done them, I'll say without a workshop, improvised workshop.
Yeah.
So I've stripped them out, took them back and done them in the garage. Or a couple of years ago in the summer, I bought, again, I priced it onto the job, bought a massive gazebo and an extractor fan in the garden. I've got a big decking area. It was, do you know what? It was perfect. Had spraying racks in there, ventilation. It couldn't have been better. But yeah, it depends what level you're going in at, you know.
The hardest thing for me at the moment is like I've gone and done like the vinyl wrapping course and stuff like that. I was getting loads of job interest, done some jobs, but I just don't have the time to do it at the moment. Like we're so busy with the decorating side of things, it's going into that new niche. It's just we were just doing it, like say me and Dave at the time was just doing it after hours and just doing it as a bit of spare money. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's hard, man. It's just to do like either have to give it full commitment. It's just it is quite. Have you seen the vinyl wrapping? It's all right.
I know what you're on about. Yeah.
It's actually good.
I've never looked into it.
It's really good. It's the fact that you can do like there's more textures, more designs. You know what I mean, it's good in some ways. I feel like spraying kitchens good in some ways. I feel like vinyl wrappers in some ways.
Some of the technology, mate, is insane. Like I was seeing some of the stuff Jamie was showing me at his workshop. Like some of the textures they can do now, like the spray granite worktops and the polished metal that they do. It's fucking crazy.
I love to go and do that Phoenician plastering. That's one thing I love to do.
That's good.
But then again, is that another thing you have to go straight into to do it?
Well, I mean, people do that whole thing as a business, don't they? So, like, as in that's all they do.
That's what I mean, though. It's just like, it's one of them, isn't it?
You hang paper. You're paper.
Yeah. Paper,
I personally, I've said this to my son, I believe there's a big future in that because there's so many decorators that don't paper. And again, my script on it, because I've had so many clients, mate, that have said to me, "Oh, we've asked X amount," the amount of times, mate, where I've done.
Do you know why this is? Because they're not staying. I don't care what anyone says. That going to college and learning how to paper hang is not long enough.
No,
it's not long enough.
Not at all.
I had to shadow and had to paper and had to line for my boss for 11 years to finally say I'm comfortable doing it. And he was then putting me on expensive papers, doing this, doing that. It took a long time to do it. And a lot of these people, even they can do it too soon and they can't, they fuck it up. Or it's just like, but don't get me wrong, no job, even if you're a fucking specialist, something eventually could go wrong.
Oh, 100%,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's how you deal with it. You know, it's not even that. It's how to work a room out properly, you know, even the pattern and stuff. And it's just everything, like, there's so much more to it that people don't see. Do you know what I mean? But, like, there's techniques, you know, like colouring the edges and, you know, doing the backs and stuff like that. Ideally, you don't have to want to do that. Do you know what I mean? But have you noticed a lot of the have you noticed a lot of the interior design papers now? They don't even like test them in some of them.
Mate, the amount of problems.
Ones, have you noticed that?
John, I've had so many, mate. Listen, I've hung some mega expensive papers.
Navy ones,
some serious faults.
Done any Navy ones?
Not recently.
No.
I mean, there's certain brands I won't touch now.
Yeah.
You know, like the one any decorator listening to this, I love wallpaper, so I just won't hang it or refuse point blank if a customer shows it me. I'm just on that.
Yeah, for me now, I just literally say to them, 100% confident in my ability. I'm going to put two pieces up. And I say, I'm going to get them to come over and say, this is close to the joint, it will go. And then, you know, the papers, if you had them before, even though where the natural light hits, even when that you can still see that joint going down. And,
yeah.
it's just, and then just to say, no, I don't like it. It's like, well, get your money back. Instead of doing the whole wall looking shit, then you have to pay for it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of and then the worst thing is the interior designers are just literally going out there, picking these papers and literally just trying to stick them up. They're not even being tested. Like, do you know what I mean? So then it looks like you. So
you can only hang as good as what you're given. That's the thing. I've got certain brands that I always light up when I see it because I'm like, I know that'll be good. Like, because you've worked with it, your Graham and Browns, your Cole and Sons, things like that. You very rarely have any issues. But yeah, there are certain brands now, mate, where I just literally, if somebody has got oil of wallpaper, the last oil of wallpaper, I had problems with one after the other, and the straw that broke the camel's back. I did, it was only a downstairs toilet as well, but it was a white background with a Dalmatian spot. It was just this random black spot, And I put the first couple up, and as I was smoothing it out, the spots were just smudging. Like, it wasn't colour fast. So all the ink was just spreading. I went and got the customer, and she was like, oh, it's okay. I was like, nah. I said, look, on that, because she'd been waiting. It was a job I'd squeezed in. I was like, I don't want to let you down. I said, I'll do one or two things. Rip it off and get something else, and I'll come back and do it for you. Or two.
It's annoying that, though, isn't it? It's like, you know, because I've done that before. You do it out of goodwill, but, like, it's not your fault.
No.
Oh, but then we're the ones suffer from it.
She was fine, mate. But what I said to her, I said, if you do want me to continue and finish this job, I'm not charging you because I don't want my name put to this.
That's exactly what I'm like. That's exactly what I'm like.
And in fairness, mate, I was in the situation. I was like, I'm here now. My pasteboards are up. I'm here. I'm doing the job. It'll take me 2 hours max. If you want me to finish it, I will. But I'm not do not tell anyone I did this, basically.
I know,
and she was like, oh, no, I can't live with that. I was like, I know, exactly.
I couldn't live. I'm brutally honest sometimes with people. I'd say to them, like, if I put it up, I said, look, if it was me, I wouldn't even put this up.
Red flagged it. I mean, on the other side of the scale, I did a job, gone proper trade here, John, haven't we? I did a job a couple of years ago, and I'll say it was a couple of years ago, it was about 4 years ago. The paper was 400 quid a roll. Mega expensive paper, and it was this, hard to describe, it was like a flocked metallic thing. Nothing, it wasn't even a pattern, it was a non-match. Reverse hang, non-match, European width roll, but it had this like metallic backgroundy type thing. But when you folded the paper, and I don't mean like folded creased, I mean literally just put it over, and it was piece of paper. Yeah. When you just folded it over on wherever you folded it, all the metallic come off. It come off like, you know, like gold leaf.
Yeah, you're saying.
And I put the first one up, and I'm looking at this stuff on the floor, and it was all over my hands. I'm like, what the fucking hell is this? I looked back at the paper, I was like, oh, Christ. I rung the designer up, I was like, look, hung to instruction,
they're sickables,
special paste, the lot. And I sent her a picture, and she was like, oh, that's not, let me ring them. So she rung them, and the response they got, 400 quid a roll, oh yeah, we know about that. We can do one or two things. We can either replace the batch for you, or we can refund the cost. I was like, hold on. So you know about it, but you've sold it anyway.
They don't care.
I thought, no, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. But then, you know, from my perspective then, obviously it all had to be replaced with a totally different paper in the end. I'm then stood around waiting. You know, I'd done all the prep work. Paper hanging was the last bit of the job, so I've then had to leave the job, wait for the paper to arrive, to go back to finish the job, to get paid. So it's frustrating. But
I refuse to put any paper up until the job's finished, mate. Like, the amount of customers I've had throwing wallpaper at me in its construction site, I'm like, absolutely not.
No. Very last job.
Yeah.
Very last
job. But the one you put up is just like, no.
Yeah, no, I'm the same, mate. All paint has to be dry.
Yeah.
Very last job on site. But despite all that, I think there's a big future financially in it, because there's less and less people willing to do it.
Because it takes time. Honestly, it's one of the parts of our trade that takes, especially the expensive papers. Like, I always used to say to my employees, even though I look like I do it and they wanted to learn to do it, I was like, you need to learn lining paper first. You need to throw it up, feel the paper. That's what my boss used to say to me. Get used to it, working out the room, go on to cheaper wallpapers, do this, do that. But, like, if you're putting up expensive wallpaper and that goes wrong, like, I'm going to blame you. And then I'm going to have to explain to the customer that was you, and then it looks like me. Or I just do it, and I can either take the hit or explain to the customer the pay, and then they would think, because I'm saying it, it must be right, rather than, no, your employee's done it. It's shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's a hard one, that.
But that's what I'm saying, though, John, with paper, it's risk to reward. Because if you're given, for example, right, I had a job last year, wall mural, but it was bespoke, so it was a whole room wraparound.
I'm doing one of them in a couple of weeks.
36 drops, wood chip and magnolia, other paper company, brilliant quality paper.
Yeah.
But it was this whole room design.
It's like a linen. Is it like a linen back sort of?
No, it wasn't linen back. It was just very, very good quality.
Oh, is it?
Very, very good quality. And it was £3,000 worth of mural. But there was obviously there's no room for errors. There's 32, 34 drops, something like that.
Saying,
you can't get any wrong because each one's unique. It's all part of the picture.
Yeah.
Which was all sound. But I went to a job where the designer, again, I fell out with the designer in the end, to be honest, because absolute nightmare. Just constant issues with them. But they had rung me to do the job. I'd gone, yeah, no worries. Like 6 weeks, I can get in. No, it needs to be done next week. I was like, well, not by me. Left it, and I got a phone call 2 weeks later, literally in tears, mate, just crying down the phone. She's like, Ross, that job in Tewkesbury. I went into the trade centre. I asked them if they knew somebody that could paper. I got them in to do it, and they've walked off the job. The customers rung me. They're saying that it's gone up wrong, blah, blah, blah. And I went and had a look, mate, and they had to reorder the whole mural because it was bespoke made to the room, but it was like they couldn't just, apparently the company couldn't just print off like the mural again minus the first 14 drops. It had to reprint the whole thing.
Really?
So
they are like printed to like put like you literally only have bit tolerance, don't you, to trim, and that is fucking mental.
They had to resupply the whole thing, mate. But what the geezer had done, trade talk again, but he'd put the first drop up with a mural. Obviously, you've got the mural and you've got your tolerance top and bottom. It weren't too bad actually. I think it was 8 centimeters top and bottom that I'd got, which is quite a lot of waste. With a measurement, the width mural, the width waste was nil because it had to literally meet all the way. You imagine you've gone all the way around a room and it had to meet. It was a lap and slice, and the tolerance was about 6 centimeters I'd got, so it couldn't, and it worked. Like, it was planned to perfection.
I've never had one quite like that yet.
I've done a couple, mate,
have you?
of that brand.
Does it not just meet in the corner, or does it literally have to splice it in?
In the corner, it splices in.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, so you've got a tolerance in the corner that you can overlap and splice to get the pattern right, but you don't have a lot of tolerance. But it was, like I say, it was 8 centimeters top and bottom. But this geezer had come and he'd hung it at the very top of the pattern on the piss. So by the time he'd hit the first corner,
it's dropped.
It was about 3 inches of nothing.
Fucking idiot.
And he'd just left it. And apparently the geezer had gone to the customer and he'd just gone, "Oh, I've got family issues. I've got to go." And had just walked off the job and had left it, knowing that
he's probably well embarrassed, isn't he?
£3,000 a mural. Yeah. But again, it's basics. Like the designer rung me up, and I kid you not, mate. She was like, "Can you get there quick and manage to strip it off and rehang it?" I was like, "Well, no, because he's cut it top and bottom for one, but two, obviously, it's not going to pull straight off." But again, had to resupply and do it. So it's one of those, mate. It's to me, it's demand dictates value. There's a lot of demand for it. There's not many people picking it up. Mark my words, paper hanging. It's the way to go.
Yeah, I do love doing it when it goes right.
It's a problem.
When it goes right, it's sound, yeah. It is one of the, I do love doing it. It's like, I've got quite a lot of jobs coming up soon doing it, and I've got I'm not allowed to spill the beans on it, but I've got a really good one coming.
Fair play. Instagrammable.
Yeah, I've got the videographer's going to work on it with me, but it's top secret. Alman government. That's all I can say.
Okay. I've done a couple of jobs, mate, that have been like NDA. That you can't put content about, which is frustrating because I'm like, it looks fucking amazing, but I can't. Well,
apparently I'm allowed to, but after it's been revealed.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, apparently I'm not allowed to do it way before. So they said that up front to me, but then I came back in an email and they're like, okay, but you can do it after.
Good stuff. I'm going to ask you a question to wrap things up, mate. There's a question that I've asked quite a few people that have come on the podcast, because the podcast is here to try and address the mental health crisis that's in construction, the horrible statistics around suicide from people coming out of the industry. And the question that I've asked a lot of people is a simple one, which is, given that the construction industry is obviously a point of crisis, it's the worst industry in the UK for suicide figures, what's your take on that? Why do you think it is as bad as it is?
I don't know, really. That is a difficult one to say, because
there's no right or wrong answer to it. It's just, I've asked a lot of people because a lot of people give a different insight.
Is it because all decorators are alcoholics, or? No, I'm joking.
There we go again.
I'm joking. Yeah. I'm joking. I I don't know really. I feel like we have to work our ass off, and it takes a lot out of us to earn money. Do you know what I mean? I think so. Like mentally and physically, like you come home drained. I see. For me, I've always, even though you should never bring your problems to work, I always found, like having obviously one of my friends that I work for, when I go to it, it's always somewhere I can speak about it, as long as it's not in front of the customer and that. But for me, I find it's you know, I feel like for me it helps me a lot when I go to work and speak about my problems and stuff like that, and then you go.
That's because you got people there to talk to.
But maybe you're on your own. It could be because I remember when I worked on my own first, it was hard. Like it was just a lonely game.
Isolation's a massive causal factor, mate. It's something that a lot of people say. Long hours, working on your own. Because you imagine, like, you've been through some shit. You've potentially been able to offload or discuss that with people. If you haven't, and you've got that spiral of your head's gone, you've had some terrible news at home or whatever, and you've had to go to work and process that on your own, then maybe that's affected your quality of work. Then you've got the customer on your back. Then you decide, fuck it, I'm pissed off today, I'm going to go for a few beers.
To be honest, when I did have that downward spiral, the biggest thing that helped me, because I was coming into work, I put on weight, just wasn't enjoying it, just looked sloppy and just, do you know what I mean? And the biggest thing for me was getting back fitness, getting back into the gym. That helped me so much. I can't even explain it. Confidence, like speaking to customers, just like if he takes care of himself, he's going to take care of us. You know, that attitude. And then my mental health did help a lot, but I just feel like when you're just stuck in a day job and you're just going in and you're working on your own, you know, and it's all you know, and you're just trying to get as much money as you can in and just going home and then living that day in, day out, it does get hard. And my mental health was decreasing quite badly, to be fair. But that was, I'd say exercise is massive. If I could speak positive about something when it comes to mental health, I just think you can't. Exercise is medication.
Completely agree, mate. Yeah,
it is. Go and have a horrible day. Don't even have to go to the gym. Don't even have to lift weights. Even though I suggest to do that, it's amazing. But go for a run and then come back and you feel so much better. And nutrition as well. It's
fairness, mate. If you can't run, walk. Go for a fucking long walk.
Eating shit at work. That is another thing. Eating pasties, eating shit at work every day. It makes you feel like crap. That's another thing as well. 100%. When you eat like crap, you feel like crap. And I think that's another thing. Trades just eat shit at work.
I'm a living example of that at the minute, John, to be fair. Yeah, it's true.
Mate, it's true, though. It's just when you start eating healthy, like it does massively helps your mental health, 100%. And that was another thing as well. That was one of the things that I focused on, was my personal things that I needed to set. So it wasn't just business, it was my mental health. And that was one of my main things I needed to achieve for myself. Because once you go down, things just get harder and harder and harder. But I feel like when you lose it, though, and you do work, you do achieve that, like, it's character building, do you know what I mean? Like, you realise that you are...
Yeah.
You are devoted, like, you've
got...
It
is, mate. The old saying, man, that what doesn't kill you and all that. But... there's truth to it in the respect that when you go through things and you come out the other side, you get that steel from it where you go, I've been through that, I've survived that.
And so the best thing is, if you ever get yourself in that hole again, one, you've got the learning experience, and two, it's a lot easier the next time you do it. That's honestly, if I can take anything away from that thing, from my personal journey, whenever I felt, because it was maybe 2 months ago, I felt I was going slowly back into that John again. I started going back to the gym, got PT signed up, got my nutrition on check, and I feel great again. Do you know what I mean? And then even business, just focused, drive, energy, don't feel like him.
So you notice the symptoms and you've got your coping mechanisms lined up already because of the last time you went through it.
because I was getting to that point again.
There you go,
I
mate.
could tell. Just I do think, you know, the trade world is just eating shit day and day, like hard work, hard graft. It is hard, like it is.
It is.
Trade's completely different than an office job. They don't understand it. Like, it's just you put someone who works in an office in the trade world, and they won't even last a day, man. Bit of sandpaper in the hand, they would hate it. They'd be talking about how the fingers are sore. Do you know what I mean? It's graft. Trade is graft.
It is, mate. It is. The rewards are there to be had, but it ain't an easy path.
No. But like anything, over time, it gets a lot easier.
But as you said, mate, you got your coping mechanisms. You know that you need to train. You know you need to keep your nutrition on point. You can recognise when you're starting to slip, and all them things are big things.
Yeah. It definitely is. I feel like when you go in, when you are depressed and your mental health does get affected, it does start affecting your work.
Of course it does.
Do you know what I mean? And your attitude towards customers, like my tolerance when I'm not in a good mood. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It can be quite bad. Well, no, it isn't now. I can control it, but like, there has been stages in my life where I was just, because I bottled it in so long, didn't just want to come out. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, someone had to be in the firing line. So I do think, if I could suggest anything, it's definitely just to do that, really.
It's great advice. It's great advice. It's come up before, and it's bang on.
I'm sure Nathan would agree with me. Didn't he have the same sort of experience, Nathan? He did a little bit, didn't he?
In terms of
getting back into fitness and stuff.
Yeah, I think he did, his transformation's been huge, mate.
Because I think I remember messaging him because we were doing it at the same point. You know what I mean? So I had something in common with him.
Oh, mate, he's been day and night difference, mate. When I first started speaking to Nath, he was a totally different man. Like physically, he was nothing like what he is now.
But he is, again, you could tell he's like similar to me. He was, even though he was working his job day in, day out, you could tell it was building up on him. He looked a bit flat.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he got back into the gym, you could, mate, and look where he is now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, focused on himself, and then he's reaped the rewards at the end.
I think it says a lot anyway. I think lads who can get themselves into that kind of decent physical shape, it says more about you anyway, because it shows you can focus, it shows you can dedicate, it shows you got discipline. So it says all them things about you without you having to talk.
Yeah, it's true. And I do think, like anything though, when people say they can't do it, they can do it. They just need to get to a certain point in the journey where it becomes an addiction or a routine. They're too used to their own routine.
Yeah.
It takes 2 weeks or something to find a new routine, like a routine in your life. And like, I found it so hard getting back into it. Coming from the pizza onto the night clean. After 2 weeks, I was flying.
Yeah.
Because my body wasn't craving chocolate or pizza anymore. Do you know what I mean? But that is 100%. And I do. Again, I want to be fit and healthy for my daughter. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, so I always are quite keen on her eating healthy, but it never happens.
Plus, you've said numerous times the trade isn't easy, but what makes it easier is being in shape. You got a physical job; it's easier when you're lighter,
more efficient.
Of course, you are. Yeah, mate. I feel it. So at the minute, to be fair, I was in decent shape, and then I can make excuses left, right, and centre. My training's been off for a long time now. Pretty much since I started this journey, because all my spare time has come into building this.
Exactly.
And it's that balance. I've had to make that sacrifice. I now know that I need to refocus on that. But rather than getting woe is me, what I was getting raising that point is I can tell the difference. Like up and down, like doing what I'm doing at the minute, hand painted kitchen, up and down, kneeling, up and down all day. I'm now having to stand up 2.5 stone heavier.
That's just age, mate.
Like, there is that as well.
That's
but
just
you
age.
imagine every time I stand up, mate, I'm lifting an extra 30 pounds. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's no joke. So it's, the best thing you can do is invest in yourself and look after yourself. And this is the thing when it comes to mental health. I was talking to another guest the other day. The first thing, lots of us are suffering, lots of us do suffer. Step one is realising that you're struggling. Step two is actually having a bit of reflection and looking at yourself and going, okay, I'm struggling, but what can I change within myself? What can I change? Is my nutrition okay? Am I overweight? Am I exercising? Yeah. All those things. It's that self-responsibility to turn around and go, I'm going to look at myself first and see what I can change to help myself.
Yeah, no, I think that's the main thing to need to focus on. But I do agree before, if you are working on your own, it's so lonely. Like, I love being able to go into work if I have any problems, be able to speak to my work colleagues because they give good advice and I want to give good advice back to them. But it's not, as long as it stays professional, it's not around the customer and stuff.
Yeah,
I want my workplace to be someone you can come and talk to.
Yeah.
As long as it's not affecting work. Do you know what I mean? As long as you're working, you want to speak to someone, that's fine. Like, I've done it all the time. Do you know what I mean? So I speak more to my work colleagues about my personal problems, and I would want them to come to me about what I would speak to my friends, because it's just like the first point of contact. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
well, you're with them for a long time, mate. You're at work for a long time.
Exactly. You've seen them more than my missus. Do you know what I mean? It's mental,
exactly.
It's crazy.
Fair play, mate. Well, listen, the Crown Painter. I'll be keeping an eye on your story and your growth, mate. It's been I've seen a big difference, to be fair, over the last 12 months. So again, a fucking huge thank you for making the effort to come all the way over here. Is there anything that we haven't spoken about that you wanted to talk about today, John?
Don't know. We've talked for a long time, haven't we?
I'm used to it now, mate. This is normal for me.
Yeah, it's not normal for me. I don't know. I think I covered everything, really. Obviously, my dad passing away. That was really, that was hard. I'd say that's about it. I'm sure there's more to come and get on the show next time.
Yeah, man. Listen, always up for a round two and a catch up.
But all my staff will just leave me next. I'll come speak about that.
No, but it's
back in debt again.
I enjoy doing it, mate. To be honest, I've had quite a few people that have come on for a second conversation because life is hard and life continually throws things at you. So I have people that have come back after a year and they've been through some more stuff they want to talk about. Yeah. I'm always down for that. But in the meantime, though, dude, first of all, let people know where they can find you if they don't follow you already.
If you can't find me, if you search The Crown Painter on Instagram or TikTok, I think I might change my username on that, but that's getting changed back. John Skelton Paint and Decorating on Facebook. If you want to search me, fine. If you don't, it's your loss. But I'm joking. But if you want to, I will be at the Paint and Decorating show this year. So if you want to come and say hi, I should be at the Crown stand.
How much are you charging for photos, John?
They're free of charge.
No, it's quality, mate. So yeah, anyone that doesn't already, go and give John a follow. I will pop your details, I'll pop your Instagram handle or whatever in the episode description as well. Anyway, so it's nice and easy for you guys to go and find John. Again, man, massive thank you for coming in. Before we do wrap up, a big thank you to the Funky Peach for our guest merchandise, which I'll be sending John away with. Any of you guys looking for any workwear, check out the Funky Peach. They do a great range. And like, share, follow, subscribe, all that shit I always forget to say. So, yeah, I think that's about it then, dude.
Pretty much.
Catch you soon on the next one.
See you later.